Gracious God, creator of the universe, and yet the lover of my soul. Alpha and Omega, and yet I can call you friend. I don't have to beg you for anything, but I can thank you for everything. God, I thank you because this is the day that you have made, and I can rejoice and be glad in it. Thank you for this day of magnificence and glory and splendor. God, I thank you for life, health, and for strength. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for peace, love, and joy. I thank you for the essence of you that envelops me right now, from the crown of my head to the soles of my feet. We thank you for this day of manifestation. We thank you for the day of revelation. We thank you for the day of impartation. We thank you as you move in the midst of your people to bring us to the greatest times that we've ever seen since the foundation of the world. Thank you, Lord, that for this time and for this season, you've allowed us to be a part of your move in the face of the earth. I thank you, God, for the revolution that you're bringing forth, God, even in the midst of the earth right now. And I thank you for the opportunity to be a part of what you're doing in this hour, because in the last days, saith God, you said you would pour out your spirit on all flesh. And so now we thank you for the pouring out. God, I thank you for the rain and the move of your spirit. I thank you for fresh oil. I thank you for new wine. I thank you for the new thing that you're doing. I thank you now that it does spring forth. I thank you, Lord, that you've called us to be the head and not the tail. You've called us to be above only and not beneath. You've called us to be the lender and not the borrower. You've called, God, that our storehouses would be full and increase. God, I thank you because even I decree and declare that the people under the sound of my voice, even now, are moving in the might of your strength. Not by might nor by power, but by your spirit. I thank you for those that are the sons and daughters of God that are called because they walk not after the flesh, but after your spirit. I thank you for the rising up of the people of your kingdom. I thank you that your kingdom come. I thank you that your will be done, even now in earth as it is in heaven. I thank you, Lord, because you are moving in the midst of your people mightily as never before. Raise us up, oh God, to the standard of what you've called us to be. God, I thank you for the standard of greatness. I thank you for the standard of holiness. I thank you for the standard of moving as the sons and daughters of yours, and not as vagabonds, not as those that never knew you, not as those that are confused and confounded, but God, those that know who they are in you. I thank you for the knowing. I thank you, God, for knowing you. I thank you for knowing your presence. Thank you for knowing your Holy Ghost power that gives us the ability to be successful. Your anointing that gives us the power to rise up and be called blessed. Thank you for that is in us. Thank you, God, for all things that pertain to life and godliness. Thank you because we are not confused. We are not deceived. And we thank you for that clarity of mind and the clarity of vision that allows us to walk forth as kings and queens, as princes and princesses in the kingdom that walk in the earth. We thank you that we are your beloved, and we rise up as the apple of your eye. We rise up, oh God, as those that you love with all of your heart. And God, we love you back. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for soundness of spirit. I thank you that healing is our bread. Healing is our deliverance. By the stripes of Jesus, we're already healed. And we speak forth that healing even now for those that need it. Thank you, God, for every stripe that was taken. Thank you for the bruising. Thank you that he was wounded for our transgressions, bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him. God, with those same stripes we declare and we speak healing in Jesus' name. We give you glory, we give you peace, we give you honor, we give you blessing, we give you might. We ascribe all of these things unto you because they are yours. Thank you, the fruit of my lips giving thanks unto your name, ever giving you all that is yours. Glory, honor, power, dominion, majesty. It's yours. I decree it and I speak it. In the mighty name of Jesus, it is so. Amen and amen.
Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. I want to welcome you to today's edition of Yes, You O Cubed. What does O Cubed stand for? One-on-one, it's just me and you. I am the spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman, and I'm so glad that you joined me on today. Listen, today is Thursday. It's Friday Eve, cheering. It's Friday Eve. It's Thursday, August the 31st, the very last day of the month in the year 2023. And it's another day's journey, and I'm glad about it. I'm so glad that you all got up bright and early this morning to come and be a part of the Lion's Den session. I appreciate you just for being here. It's a blessing to be in the house one more time. Listen, we're going to get this party started and get it crack-a-lacking because there's so many things that we're going to talk about on today. And I want to say before I get started, to my three beautiful mods who held down the fort on yesterday in my absence. I had to go take care of some business because I am now officially a Texan, and I had to get all of that done on yesterday morning, and I had an appointment first thing in the morning. But I tell you, I started it up, but my mods finished it. That's it, BTD Mom. That mod love, that mod love. These three ladies held it down, and I understand y'all went in yesterday on that video. Thank you, Shelly Thunder. Thank you, Michelle Brownell. Thank you to the Rebel Inc. because y'all held it down for me. And I told y'all I got the best mods in the world. I appreciate you. I absolutely positively do. Now, listen, we're going to get this party started and get this party crack-a-lacking and take a look and see what's going on out here. Let's get started with the VIP section, cheering. What's going on in Grandpa Holmes's chair? Well, listen, we got, I'm going to come back up and I'm going to get who am I going to get? There she is. Now, I got the third person in the Lion's Den this morning because the Saints were tired. Joanna G, 98. Come on in here. Go ahead and sit right over there on that love seat, Joanna G. Go ahead and just sprawl on out. Just spread, sis. Just spread. Just go ahead and just make yourself absolutely positively at home because you were the third person in the Lion's Den this morning, and I love me some you. Do I have a picture of you, Joanna? I don't think I do, but she's beautiful, y'all. She's absolutely stunning, gorgeous, and beautiful. Thank you for coming in. Now, the second person in the Lion's Den this morning, Cassandra Isaiah, that's my beautiful sister. Yes, Cassie, sassy, slide and glide. Slide right on into that love seat next to Joanna G. These two beautiful ladies are going to hold it down from the love seat. But the winner of Grandpa Holmes' chair is none other than Shelly Thunder. Get your lips, hips, and fingertips in that chair. Yes, Shelly Thunder is the winner of Grandpa Holmes' chair. I'm telling you, she said, I want my throne back. I want my throne back. She came in this morning, children. She came in, and she wasn't playing with that thing. Congratulations one more time, Shelly. I love it. Kapow! Kapow! I'm trying to tell you, she did that. Honey, here, see the lightning flash, hear the thunder roll. Shelly Thunder did that this morning. Congratulations to you. Now listen, cheering, listen. I appreciate all of you that came in this morning. Y'all know how it is in the VIP section. It's a friendly competition. They bring in all the love, joy, peace, soul, and happiness to make sure there's plenty of it here when we get here. So I appreciate each and every one of you out there in the VIP section. Now, while I'm there, I just might as well, you know, I got the best mods in the world. Get that mod love out. Get that mod love out. Get that mod love out. As I said, they held it down on yesterday. Shelly Thunder. Yes, Shelly Thunder is the prophetess, y'all. She'll give you a word in season. She'll pray for your soul. She'll pray for miracles, signs, and wonders. But she'll block your tail. Don't believe me, just watch. Ladies and gentlemen, she will block your tail because she'll tell you in a heartbeat, try Jesus, don't try me. I see this mod love out here. I see this mod love. Thank you for that mod love. I see you, KK79. I see you, BTD mom, Joanna G, Bronx Harlem girl, Shelly Thunder, Joanna. Come on, I see that mod love. Sure will. Sure will. These are my ladies right here. Then we're led by none other than the leader of the pack. Yes, my day one, my Ace Boon Coon. Yes, and she is a streamer, y'all. The Rebel Inc. If you're not following the Rebel Inc., quit your ways. Just quit them, because I'm here to tell you she is a blessing, and we're going to go be with her in just a few minutes. We're going over to Rebel's house, and I promise you, you want to be there today. Then who else do I have cheering? I'm telling you. The Quiet Storm. Yes, Michelle Brownell is my angel. That's my girl right there because she changes the atmosphere just by being in it. I promise you. Shelly, listen, Michelle, tell her, don't hate. I can discern a jealous spirit when I see one, Michelle. I can discern a jealous spirit. Don't hate on my angel. Listen, that's it, KK79. Just jealous. She's just jello. Listen, that's my angel. That's my quiet storm. And I love me some her. And yes, she will change the atmosphere just by being in it. These three beautiful ladies, I'm telling y'all, God could not have blessed me with better moderators anywhere. Jello-licious. Jello-less. She's all of that, Bronx Harlem girl. She's all of that. You see how she throws out that shade. You see, and you know we don't just throw shade. We shed light over here. She throws out that shade. Listen, all she got to do is see the heavenly choir. It just goes all over, Michelle. Just goes all over. Real shady. Just real shady. Michelle, you know we love you. You know we love you, girl. We absolutely positively do. These beautiful ladies, they are my blessed trinity. And the thing I love about them is, well, they don't just love me here in this lion's den. They love me off screen, and I appreciate them. Now, as my mother said, when you come in the room, speak to somebody. I want to come around and say good morning to everybody that's in the room this morning. I see you. Shelly Thunder was the first one in the Lions Den general section this morning. Good morning to you. And even though I'm just talking and teasing, you know I'm just playing. You are precious to my soul. That's my Shelly Thunder. Then we had my beautiful, blessed sister, Joanna G, came in the room. So much mad love to you and good morning. Coming on down and I'm looking and I'm booking and I see Glenda M. Groves is in the room. That's my beautiful sister. Good morning to you, sis. Come through, come through. Downtown, Melvin Brown. That's my shouting partner right there. And I love me some him. Good morning to you, Melvin. And listen, I see you all have an anniversary going on. Put the date in there and I'll announce it for you before the week is over. I appreciate you so much, sir, and blessings to you. The Gift, Nathan Lamont, that's my sweetheart, and he knows all I need is one good squall. Good morning to you, baby. So good to see you. Then we've got the Rebel Inc. Yes, the Rebel Inc. is a streamer, y'all. And if you're not following the Rebel Inc., quit your wiggle ways. Just quit them. She's going to bless your whole entire life. I promise you she will. And then lo and behold, who came in early this morning? Honey, it's Mo Better with Retta. Retta Divine is in the room, and good morning to you, sis. It's good to see you here. Mad love to you. Anita Harvey, otherwise known as Beat Teeth Deep Mom. Good morning to my biggest, big, beautiful sister. Come on in the room. Come on in here, sis. It's good to see you, and mad love to you. Coming on down, and who else is up in here while I looked? Who else? I looked over Jordan, and what did I see? Oh my goodness, there she is. There she is. She'll soothe your soul. Michelle Brownell is an on-time mod. Yes, she is. Y'all, I don't know what's going to happen because when she comes in here on time, you just don't know what's going to happen. She's an on-time mod. Yes, she is. Then I got KK79. Come on in here. I love me some you. That is my beautiful soul right there. Come on in here and nothing but mad love to you. I look and I see Talisa Monique is in the room. Come on, Talisa. It's good to have you in the Lions Den this morning. Mad love, mad love. I see you in here bright and early this morning. Come on and make yourself at home in the Lions Den. Good morning to you. And then Bronx Harlem girl is in the midst cheering. She's here. And good morning to you. So much mad love. I appreciate you for coming in the Lions Den this morning. And I'm always trying to discern and decide if you're a streamer or not. Just in case you are. You done answered that question 50 zillion times. But listen, y'all follow Bronx Harlem Girl anyway. So much mad love to you, and thank you for being in here bright and early this morning. Come on in here and make yourself right on at home. Coming on down, and I'm looking and I'm booking and seeing who else came in the room, who may have come in the basement while I was upstairs. Because I want to try to get everybody that I can. Because I appreciate you so much for being in the room. Cassandra Woke 2022. That's our poet laureate. She's in the room here this morning, and nothing but mad love to you. Come on in here and let's go. Now, it was reported to me. Go ahead and get your coffee cups out. Get your coffee cups out. I hear y'all left up out of here yesterday heated. The Saints were hot. Yes, I heard you all were hot on yesterday when you left up out of the stream. And listen, you know, I'm that one. I am the voice here on Twitch and YouTube and LinkedIn, in all the different channels that I'm in. I'm going to tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God. So go ahead and get those coffee cups out. Because listen, we got some fresh brew this morning. We got some fresh brew. Hey! What you saying now? Fresh brew? Come on, y'all. Now listen. Hey! Now it's hot. It's hot. It's hot. I'm trying to tell you. Whilst we slumbered, slept, and slobbered. Now, I'm going to tell you what. This is why I'm going to constantly be that voice that's going to really, really tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God. Because listen, at the end of the day, I want to show y'all a video. I want to show y'all a video. This is why I'm going to be relevant in these here days and times, because I want you to understand the foolishness that's going on out here in these streets. I want y'all to understand the foolishness that's going on out here in these streets. Now, you got DeSantis out there in Florida and these other states acting silly. And at the end of the day, this is why the spiritual thought leader is going to continue to do what I do on a daily, because I want y'all to see this foolishness right here.
Did y'all see those racist videos that DeSantis approved for elementary school students to watch in Florida?
Being taken as a slave is better than being killed, no? Before you judge, you must ask yourself, what did the culture and society at the time treat as no big deal?
There was no real movement anywhere in the world to abolish slavery before the American founding. Slavery was part of life all over the world. It was America that began the conversation to end it.
And people like Garrison don't just want slavery abolished, but the whole American system?
You are correct. His approach is called radical. That means a complete fundamental change of everything.
That seems silly. There are so many amazing things about America.
Well, your way is definitely better. It's the right way to get change.
I think so.
Also in our time, all Americans are equally protected under the law and have equal voting rights regardless of race.
I knew the U.S. Constitution would survive and allow for positive change.
We even had a black president.
2 terms.
Yeah, those fallacious racist videos were just approved, but don't get it twisted. They were probably already showing them in Florida and other states. And even if they're not being shown, you have teachers espousing that same rhetoric. And check this out, y'all. Even before these videos were shown in schools, similar ones were shown at home, like this.
They were minstrels, with black bodies and faces with big white lips and eyes. And they aped the classic minstrel show, with big opening musical numbers and slapstick stand-ups of well-known plays and stories.
See, one thing we have in common with racists, y'all, is we understand how important it is to impact our youth, because they're the future. So how ironic is it then that before this news came out, that I committed to producing Black history cartoons like this? Now, if you want to help me out on this mission, make sure you become an IG subscriber or patron, and let's keep fighting.
Now, I'm going to play, listen, because this right here, this foolishness right
and
here,
y'all see
one
those
more
racist
time.
videos that DeSantis approved for elementary school students to watch in Florida?
Being taken as a slave is better than being killed, no? Before you judge, you must ask yourself, what did the culture and society at the time treat as no big deal?
There was no real movement anywhere in the world to abolish slavery before the American founding. Slavery was part of life all over the world. It was America that began the conversation to end it.
And people like Garrison don't just want slavery abolished, but the whole American system?
You are correct. His approach is called radical. That means a complete fundamental change of everything.
That seems silly. There are so many amazing things about America.
Well, your way is definitely better. It's the right way to get change.
I think so.
Also in our time, all Americans are equally protected under the law and have equal voting rights regardless of race.
I knew the U.S. Constitution would survive and allow for positive change.
We even had a black president.
2 terms.
Yeah, those fallacious racist videos were just approved, but don't get it twisted. They were probably all.
Now, I won't go all the way through the other one on minstrels, because at the end of the day, oh, Jesus, Lord God, today, could it be? Y'all not playing with me. Could it be? The devil. Baby, what we just witnessed right there ain't nothing but that old slimy devil. Now, this is the thing. Come on here, Bronx Harlem girl. This is a whole joke. BTD mom, Talissa, Monique, I'm telling you, it makes you want to take your kids home and school them at home. Anna Joe Jones, good morning to you. So glad to have you in the midst. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, you had to come out alert for that, BTD mom, because that's some foolishness right there. That is some pure D. Listen, this right here.
Why you always lying?
This is what they have voted against CRT, critical race theory, and they don't want the history told of African Americans and black people in this country and what we have endured. Now, this is what, to me, is even most egregious about this video that they've created. Who other than Frederick Douglass, who was a leading abolitionist, who was leading the charge against the racism in America? Who else but Frederick Douglass would they have as a character narrating that lie and that foolishness? It's just an absolute affront to black people. It's an affront to everything that we've endured in this country. And the lie that they told that there was slavery all over the world and it was America that led the charge to end slavery.
Why you always lying?
That mess right there. And as he said, that's the type of rhetoric and the type of videos that they are approving to be played in the school system. So basically what you're saying is they're going to lie. They're going to lie. The fact that they could use his image like that, Retta, the fact that they would use Frederick Douglass's image to tell, and Garrison, he's what you call radical, because he doesn't just want to do away with slavery. He wants to get rid of the whole entire American system. That's silly. I just can't. And this is why we exist on channels like this. And as the brother said, he has started making black cartoons telling black history, because this is the kind of lie that's being told. And this is exactly what I'm telling you. Y'all, number one, get in your school systems and see what they're teaching your children. Get in the school. Don't just send Sally and Jim to school. Don't just send them to school and let the folks have your children. You better see what they are teaching to your children, because we wonder why so many of our black children come out confused and brainwashed. This is what they're being told and taught in the school system. And unfortunately, with this idea, I'm going to come here because y'all ain't ready for me. The teacher is always right is equivalent to the preacher is always right. You heard what I said. The teacher is always right is equivalent to the preacher is always right. And instead of you all critically using your minds and thinking, you'll swallow this stuff hook, line, and sinker because the teacher said it, because the preacher said it. And sometimes what they're telling you is just as off and just as wrong and just as slavery oriented, just as bondage riddled, and y'all eat that stuff up. I said what I said. Now add to it before I take it back. Some of y'all gonna be like, why would you put the preacher in there? Because listen, organized religion, especially by those that were headed by the evangelical white racist supremacist churches, I'm telling you, we in the black church are still preaching some of that rhetoric like God said it, and God never said it. And because you haven't studied and you don't know, and I'm not just talking about reading from Genesis to Revelation, did you do the history? Did you do the historical checking out of it? Did you actually take the time to do more than read the 66? Because there's a reason why they want you to read them 66. Now, at the end of the day, and don't read nothing else. Anytime you got somebody that tells you, listen to everything I say and don't expand your knowledge and understanding one iota beyond this right here, you need to raise an eyebrow. I said what I said, and I'll add to it if I take it back. Now, And I'm a Bible talking, tongue talking believer. Please believe it. But I know more than the 66. And I said what I said. And I will add to it before I take it back. Now, at the end of the day, you know, this is why this channel exists with the energy that we have. Because listen, we are tearing down and destroying and dismantling the walls between the sacred and the secular so that we can breed balance, so that we can breed freedom, so that we can breed success to our health, wealth, and our relationships. Because I'm tired. I said tired of seeing our black community separated, abused, and misused. Because how are they able to do this? People are destroyed for lack of knowledge. What you don't know will absolutely positively destroy you, and history will repeat itself. Please believe that too. And that's exactly what, don't y'all see? This is a push back to post-Civil War radical racist behavior. All of the stuff that we're looking at right now is really just history trying to repeat itself by trying to repeal certain laws, by trying to put this in schools and stop education and erase and eradicate the past. That's exactly what we see happening right here. So please understand, history is just repeating itself. And if we're ignorant and oblivious to that fact, it will happen. Please believe me when I say that. It will happen if you're ignorant and oblivious to the fact that that's exactly what they're trying to do. Your aunt told me only ignorant people read the other books besides the 66. I'm trying to tell you. I'm telling you. Anytime, I'm going to say it once more and again, Tall Pumps is pumping tall, y'all. It's my gorgeous sister from the Chi-Town. You better come on in here, Tall Pumps. Nothing but mad love to my sister. It's so good to see you in the room. So you know how I'm going to meet you and greet you. It's a poll call. Is in the room. Look back at it, Tall Pumps. Look back at it. Tall Pumps is reported for duty. Hey, Retta. Come on, reporting for duty. It's good to see you this morning, Tall Pumps. Nothing but mad love, too. You better work and twerk. I ain't even mad. Sassy sliding glide, taking my freedom ride, just came in. You better get it. Swing low, reporting for duty. Mad love to you, Tall Pumps. You know I love me some you, Tall Pumps. I love me some you. She's the keeper of the poll, y'all. She's the keeper of the poll. Good morning to you, sis, and nothing but mad love. Now, you know, I'm going back to your statement, Joanna G, because at the end of the day, there is something wrong anytime somebody does not want you to expand your knowledge. There's something wrong. I'm just going to straight up tell you. It's something wrong. Listen, and the 4 and 20 elders. I love you. I love you, Tall Pumps. Z Lady C is in the room this morning. She's in the room every morning. She's usually just working and lurking, but she's in the chat this morning. Good morning, Z Lady C. Nothing but mad love to you. Come through, come through, come through. Now, so at the end of the day, I want to appreciate having those individuals. You need to know more than those 66 books. I'm going to say it once more and again. You need to know more than those 66 books, because at the end of the day, as I keep trying to say to you, King James, at the end of the day, it took them 16 years to get an authorized version of the translation. It don't take 16 years to translate them 66 books. So at the end of the day, y'all pay attention. And for everybody that's oblivious and unaware, the King James Version was not the first Bible. And at the end of the day, y'all need to go back and get some original translation and stop eating this stuff hook, line, and sinker. I said what I said. I'll add to it before I take it back. Now, and I'll say even to that end, Joanna G., Rick Warren, who was a definite proponent against women in ministry, has now come out after they excommunicated his church. He's now coming out and saying he went back and read some of the original text and realizes that some of that material was taken out of context. You think? You only went back and read it after they excommunicated your church. I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. You just went back and read some of the original text and got the interpretation that it was wrong, and you've been teaching it wrong this many years. Y'all miss me with that. Anyway, that's a whole nother conversation. Let me get back to my convo right here. Now, that's why, listen, Z Lady C, y'all miss me with that mess. So that's why we will continue for those that just arrived. Matter of fact, let me show it once more and again. I'm gonna do it one more time for the Holy Ghost, for everybody that is unaware of this foolishness. Tall Pumps, I'm glad you're here. This is what DeSantis has approved in Florida schools to teach the children. And here we go. Once more, and this is my last time, but I just listen. One for the Father, one for the Son, one for the Holy Ghost. We're going to expose this foolishness for what it is.
Those racist videos that DeSantis approved for elementary school students to watch in Florida.
Being taken as a slave is better than being killed, no? Before you judge, you must ask yourself, what did the culture and society at the time treat as no big deal?
There was no real movement anywhere in the world to abolish slavery before the American founding. Slavery was part of life all over the world. It was America that began the conversation to end it.
And people like Garrison don't just want slavery abolished, but the whole American system?
You are correct. His approach is called radical. That means a complete fundamental change of everything.
That seems silly. There are so many amazing things about America.
Well, your way is definitely better. It's the right way to get change.
I think so.
Also in our time, all Americans are equally protected under the law and have equal voting rights regardless of race.
I knew the U.S. Constitution would survive and allow for positive change.
We even had a black president.
2 terms.
Yeah, those fallacious racist videos were just approved, but don't get it twisted. They were probably already showing them in Florida and other states. And even if they're not being shown, you have teachers espousing that same rhetoric. And check this out, y'all. Even before these videos were shown in schools, similar ones were shown at home, like this.
They were minstrels, with black bodies and faces with big white lips and eyes. And they aped the classic minstrel show, with big opening musical numbers and slapstick stand-ups of well-known plays and stories.
See, one thing we have in common with racists, y'all, is we understand how important it is to impact our youth, because they're the future.
And I'm gonna stop right there because and listen, Z Lady C and Tall Pumps, I know both of you are ardent activists and ardently Tall Pumps, especially in the school system, going in and talking that truth and dealing with the educators in the system. I know, Tall Pumps, that I know, and I really wanted you to see that foolishness that they are unleashing on the children. Now, notwithstanding the foolishness of this man, let me come here quick, fast, and in a hurry, because this is going on in Florida at the situation where 3 individuals were killed, end up dying. They had a vigil here in Florida, and DeSantis had the nerve to show up. So Joy Ann Reid, and that the video came out the other day that showed the sister, and it's almost like a thumb on the nose in your face kind of attitude and energy that DeSantis has, because he's the one that's passed these laws. Then you pull the black community together to make a vigil for these 3 individuals that were killed, and then he has nerve to show up for a photo op. And this right here, y'all, this is the man that's running for president of the United States. This is the brazen energy that he has that's totally dismissive of black people and the murders, the killing, the dying that he put in motion. And so I want y'all to see this right here. Here we go. This is Joy Ann Reid addressing. Just watch.
I just wanted to ask you what you were thinking in that moment as you stood there with the governor as he did his campaign photo op with the victims and the community that was suffering.
I don't think I can let you know what I was thinking, because if I did, I probably would not be reelected. Just the anger and frustration that I was feeling, though. He had a lot of audacity to come there, and after he lit the match and fanned the flames and emboldened what happened, the individual, at the end of the day, the governor does not care about black people. We have a vindictive governor. He punishes people, and that's what folks need to know, that he is hurting Floridians, and he cares more about becoming president. So can you imagine all the things that he's doing in the state of Florida, what he would do if he had the power of the president? Like, that's absolutely absurd. And it's important for us to go ahead and stop him in his tracks and really highlight the fact that folks are hurting.
I just want to...
Now, please understand, I'm not trying to be political here. I will say this, because you know I'm always about the truth. I saw someone, a photographer from the media had, oh yeah, they booed him. They booed him, Z Lady C. He had the audacity and the entire lack of caring to show up at that event for a photo op. That's really what it was. And like they said, to be completely tone deaf to the pain of the black community on something where he lit the match and fanned the flames, just hands down. This man and what he legislated was completely what has created or you know, what he has put in motion is exactly what created this incident. And at the end of the day, his racist rhetoric and his racist behavior, then you show up and you want to act like this is the perfect opportunity for you to have a photo op with a bunch of black people in. Listen, Sheila, I'm gonna tell you good morning to you, and I'm gonna give you that. Could it be? Could it be? The devil. Baby, it ain't nothing but that old slimy slew-footed devil. And this is one thing I want to say, and back to what I started to comment on earlier. There was a journalist that was positioned where he was able to record, and not in this particular situation, but in another event that he did, he was able to record a picture of DeSantis. And so as his video was flowing, as long as the cameras were there, he posted this smile like this. And as soon as the cameras left, he went back to his mean, nasty look. I mean, it was like boom to boom, just like that. And I said, if that ain't some mess. Now, and he's got that same smile. It's almost like he's gone in the mirror and practiced it. Good morning, honey 41. Come on in here. So much mad love to you. It's good to see you. Now, this is what I do want to highlight. Anybody that puts on that kind of air where they really, it's all about the way I look in front of the camera, but my energy is a totally different energy. And when I tell you, from that instant smile in front of the camera, as soon as the camera stopped flashing, with the exception of this one reporter that I don't know where they were located, that they were able to actually film his actual action, body action, facial features and all of that after the rest of the cameras had stopped shooting. And you see this man with this nasty scowling look, and I'm not, there's no exaggeration. I may need to look and see if I can find it so y'all don't think I'm lying to you. He's a fake and a fraud, Bronx Harlem girl. He's a fake and a fraud. And so that right there it said to me everything I needed to know. Because if you can go from this fake phony smile and immediately as you think all the cameras are off, turn to this nasty scowling scoundrel, I've seen all I needed to see. He is a plastic with supremacists and is out for black folks. I hear you. And he's totally plastic. There's the genuineness of that man. And that's all I needed to see. That's all I needed to see. Because listen, if that's the way you feel and that's the way you operate, just do what you need to do in front of the camera, but behind the scenes you're nasty, mean, and surly. Miss me with that. So as I said, for somebody to be this brazen, and can you imagine what it would be like if he were the president of the United States? I just can't even. I just cannot even. Now, while we on this trend, and you know, y'all, this right here, I just I'm gonna see if I can find the first one. I'm gonna show 3 of them, y'all, because I want y'all to see what the second most powerful person in the Senate. Once more and again, hold your horses. I'm not ready for you just yet. This is the second most powerful man in the Senate, and we see this behavior once more. Hold your horses. It's ready to go, honey. It said, I'm ready to show this beautiful beam footage. But the second most powerful, well, let me let you go, because let me pull you over so y'all can see it, because it just insists on running. I'm going to play it back for you. Here we go.
Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026? All right, I'm sorry, you all. We're going to need a minute. Senator. Benny.
Okay.
Somebody else have a question? Please speak up.
So Rebel said, why they keep dragging this man around?
Running for re-election in 2026. That's
Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026? All right, I'm sorry, you all. We're going to need a minute. Senator. Benny.
Okay.
Somebody else have a question? Please speak up.
Please speak up. Like, the issue is he can't hear. Please speak up. You know, now, okay. Now this is the second time we've seen this on screen. This is the second time. The man asked him, are you thinking of running for election on the next term around? Now, while y'all think that's all that, and you just can't believe it. Hold on just a second, though. Hold on just a second, because he's not the first one. Now, y'all pay attention. He's not the first one, and here we go. They will not release these positions of power even when they are incapacitated. This is Nancy Reagan, which she's caught doing many times during Ronald Reagan's presidency. This is Nancy Reagan telling Ronald what to say.
Doing everything we can.
Thank you, sir. You disappointed by Mrs. Burford's letter?
I'm not. Doing everything we can.
Thank you, sir. You disappointed by Mrs. Burford's letter?
Now, just in case you didn't know, because this ain't the first time, Joanna G. This is not the first go round. So, y'all, I'm trying to tell y'all, Reagan, before he got out, was incapacitated. They will surround these people. They'll tell them what to say. They'll feed. Now, you notice, even when y'all saw Mitch on that other one, you saw Mitch freeze up on that other one. Who is this woman that has now feeding him lines for the camera? SK. And they had many clips of that happening in Ronald Reagan's presidency. Kitty Bradshaw, the goddess, is here, y'all. Good morning, Kitty. Come on in here. Kitty Bradshaw is a streamer. If you're not following Kitty Bradshaw, quit your eyes, just quit them. She will bless your whole life. That's my hair consultant right there. So much mad love to you, Kitty. Come on in here with your gorgeous self and make yourself right at home. It's good to see you. So, I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Now, it worked for Ronald Reagan. He was able to get in and out of the presidency with Nancy and his advisors feeding him lines that he couldn't respond to. But at the end of the day, this isn't working for Mitch. This is not working for Mitch because Mitch is straight up frozen. Mitch is straight frozen. He can't even repeat after me. He can't do repeat after me. This man is the frozen chosen. People have started calling him the Iceman. This man is unable to respond. He can't open his lips. His hands are clenched. His body is frozen. He's staring off into... Listen, he's more frozen than the Disney movie, Retta Divine. This man is frozen. So then he gonna come back. Now, this is the thing to me. He's gonna come back and try to have some clap back. And I'm looking at him like, man, if you don't sit your lips, hips, and your fingertips down somewhere, because this is what he tried to throw off at Biden after this fiasco. Now, so this, y'all, they just don't know how to quit. I'm gonna have to roll it again because it's just rolling. It's just over there doing this. Now, this, y'all check this out. This is him trying to have some clap back to Biden. And here we go. Sit your lips, hips, and fingertips down because you are making a fool of yourself.
Oh, nice. How are you feeling now, sir? How are you feeling now?
I'm fine. Have you seen a doctor? Are you going to see?
Any idea what happened?
Huh?
Any idea what happened?
I'm fine. That's good.
Dehydrated?
Gotta watch those sandbags.
Thank you, Senator.
Senator, did you talk to a doctor today?
Folks, we're good. Thank you.
Here we go.
The president called and checked on me. I told him I got the sandbag.
Oh, nice. How are you feeling now, sir? How are you feeling now?
I'm fine.
Have you seen a doctor? Are you going to see?
Any idea what happened?
He got
Any
sandbagged.
idea what happened?
I'm fine.
He got sandbagged.
Gotta watch those sandbags.
Thank you, Senator.
Senator, did you talk to a doctor today?
Folks, we're good. Thank you.
One more time for good pleasure.
The president called and checked on me. I told him I got the sandbag.
Oh, nice. How are you feeling now, sir? How are you feeling now?
I'm fine.
Have you seen a doctor? Are you going to see?
Any idea what happened?
Huh?
Any idea what happened?
I'm fine. That's good.
Dehydrated?
Gotta watch those sandbags.
Thank you, Senator.
Senator, did you talk to a doctor today?
Folks, we're good. Thank you.
Why you always lying?
You know what? Oh, you missed the best part, Kitty. I'm not going to rerun it, but you missed him freezing up yesterday. That man was the frozen chosen, and he could not move on camera. So at the end of the day, Tall Pumps, he probably has no clue what happened to him. And Joanna G, for him to walk off talking about he's fine, and the president called him to ask what happened, he told him he got sandbagged. You know, at the end of the day, Michelle Brown said, tell him to call me. I can diagnose him from here. It's just that obvious. It's just that obvious. Now, are we going to address, and I saw somebody put term limits, our whole system is a geriatric clinic. Our whole system is a geriatric ward. So at the end of the day, and I know we can't, that's ageism, da-da-da-da-da. Feinstein, however she pronounces her name. He's incompetent at this point, Bronx Harlem girl. He's completely incompetent. So at the end of the day, I'm looking, they rolled her in so she could vote. Now, these are the people that are making decisions for our lives. That's what's really not funny. It's not funny. These are the people that are making the decisions for how we live. And this man is obviously incompetent. There is no reason for him to be in a position of authority. And he's not even oriented, Bronx Harlem girl. You can look at him and tell he's out in the wild blue yonder and has no clue what is going on. And at the end of the day, we absolutely need term limits, Z-Lady C, because listen, this is ridiculous. And do you mean to tell me there's no fresh blood anywhere in this country that can help run the country? These old folks are decrepit and they can't even think straight. And I'm not trying to be an ageist. I'm addressing the fact that why these people are still in office low this many years, and how many terms have they had? They come in young and they go out in the casket. And I'm looking at, listen, you need to go someplace and sit your lips, your hips, and your fingertips down and enjoy your family for your final days. But no, we got them out here. Why? Because they don't want to release that power. They don't want to release that power. That's really what it's about. They do not want to let go of that power. And there is something seriously wrong with the system that allows power-hungry folk to get that ingrained that, honey, after all of this foolishness, they still are in a position of power. And it's just dangerous. It's absolutely positively dangerous. So I just want to address that, because at the end of the day, this foolishness right here, it really needs to stop. Now, I want to come home. You respect the elderly, but if you ran against Eisenhower, not Eisenhower, Dwight D. He said, Eisenhower, good morning, Keith. Woo, I love it. I love it. Listen, I tell you, at the end of the day, this is foolishness, and I'm sick of it. Now, to bring this point home, and Michelle Brownell put this out here some time ago. I'm just now getting to it to run it. But listen, while we talking about all the money we don't have, this one right here, we got enough money for this. Check this out.
The military spend on Viagra each year?
I don't have that figure.
About $41.6 million. Do you know how many bridges in my district of Pittsburgh could be repaired with that amount? About 2. How much did the Department of Defense spend on snow crab and Alaska king crab in 2018?
I do not have that amount.
According to Open the Books, it was $2.3 million. According to an investigation by this committee in 2016, the F-35 program specifically raked up hundreds of millions of dollars in added costs due to mismanagement and negatively affected military readiness. Mr. Tenaglia, how much is the F-35 joint program estimated to cost the federal government to produce, operate, and sustain over its lifetime?
I believe the GAO cited that figure. I don't have it in front of me, but we can get that for you.
It's about $1.7 trillion, enough to completely eradicate student loan debt. According to the Government Accountability Office, between May 2018 and October 2022, about 1 million F-35 spare parts worth $85 million were, quote, lost, just vanished. How much on average does the military spend on Viagra each year?
I don't have that figure.
About $41.6 million.
Now, anybody, he knows nothing, Bronx Harlem girl. He knows nothing. Now, for everybody out there that's got student loan debt that you're struggling with, notice that she said something that I hope y'all caught. what they spend on fighter jet parts that came up missing. Did you catch that? It came up. These are crazy and true facts, Cassandra Woke. These are crazy and true facts. This is how, did you catch that, Kitty Bradshaw? What they lost for fighter plane parts, what they lost and unaccounted for, stands unaccounted for, is enough to eradicate student loan debt. Lost it, just vanished. Let me let this woman finish. The Viagra, 41 point something million for Viagra. 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 Did you understand the words that were coming out of her mouth? But we don't want to have a socialist society that's giving money to the people that actually need it. Let me go back, because listen, this right here is just so egregious that it's ridiculous.
Do you know how many bridges in my district of Pittsburgh could be repaired with that amount? About 2. How much did the Department of Defense spend on snow crab and Alaska king crab in 2018?
I do not have that amount.
According to Open the Books, it was $2.3 million. According to an investigation by this committee in 2016, the F-35 program specifically raked up hundreds of millions of dollars in added costs due to mismanagement and negatively affected military readiness. Mr. Tenaglia, how much is the F-35 joint program estimated to cost the federal government to produce, operate, and sustain over its lifetime?
I believe the GAO cited that figure. I don't have it in front of me, but we can get that for you.
It's about $1.7 trillion, enough to completely eradicate student loan debt. According to the Government Accountability Office, between May 2018 and October 2022, about 1 million F-35 spare parts worth $85 million were, quote, lost, just vanished. How much on average does the military...
Now, if those staggering numbers, and note she did say trillion with a T, trillion with a John Studios. How did you sleep? Woo! Michelle, how did you sleep? Okay, let me get back. John Studios is a streamer and about to be a husband. He's a streamer, y'all. And if you're not following John Studios, quit chewing your ways. Just quit him. Because listen, he's engaged to Michelle Brownell, and it's going to be a wedding whether they show up or not. My Luck Journey, good morning to you. So much mad love to you. Come on in here. I appreciate you for being in the room. Crazy Berrytown. She's a streamer, y'all. She's a streamer. My Luck Journey is a streamer. I call her the Lock Whisperer. If you're not following My Luck Journey and Crazy Berrytown, quit chewing away. Just quit them, because they're going to bless your whole entire life. I promise you they will. Listen, I'm trying to quit them, Crazy Berrytown. And Crazy Berrytown was the originator of If You're Not Following. So listen, that's my girl right there, my beautiful friend. I love me some of you. Disco Darren 1966 Groove morning to you. He's a streamer, you all. If you're not following Disco Darren 1966, quit chewing your ways. Just quit him, because I promise you he's going to bless your whole life in the barbershop. Mad love to you. Michelle, you awful quiet. Michelle, listen, Michelle ain't said nothing. Oh, wait a minute. This is for Kitty Bradshaw. Kitty, I hope you're still in here, because this is for you. Ooh, Kitty and she was ordering a meal, and she ordered it and didn't pay attention. And the waitress said, "Would you like that with or without the crickets?" Woo! Kitty said she had to regroup. All facts. There's no lie told. No lie told. She said she had to regroup. And when she went back and looked at the menu, there it was in live and living color. Crickets, y'all. Kitty, I'm going to play this every time I see you. Woo! Oh, so much for that fine dining experience. DJ Roll'em 27's in the room, y'all. He is a streamer. If you're not following DJ Roll'em 27, quit your wicked ways. Just quit them. I'm going to ask all of my streamers in the room, God forbid that I missed anybody. Put your times in the chat. Put your channel information in the chat so we can follow you, because we follow here in the Lion's Den. So yes, back to what this sister basically presented. We could eradicate student loan debt. We could eradicate so many things and ills and woes in the black community. We could take care of infrastructure with all the money that has been mishandled, lost, and abused in the military alone. We could absolutely, positively eradicate that debt. So she put him on Front Street. He didn't have not one answer. I don't know. Well, what do you know, sir? If you're the leader of the organization in the fiscal segment, what is it that you do know? Because you don't know anything that woman has asked you at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, I believe he was lying.
Why you always lying?
Now, and Michelle Brown, thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate you. Now, as we come around, I want to cover a few other things before we get to today's topic. Let me keep track of the time here, because I definitely want to try to get to the positive, and then we're going to get back to Dr. DeGry and show that last video on today. Now, at the end of the day, I'm so proud of who we are and what we have done as a people. We continue to be resilient. We always bounce back. And we just, listen, the folks can't understand why we won't break and why we won't bend and just come apart at the seams, because that's not the kind of people that we are. We are resilient, and we just keep coming back. Now, this story right here, and I do want to address the fact that Henrietta Lacks, and I may or may not show that video today. Henrietta Lacks, her family did win, after 2 years, an undisclosed settlement for the companies that have been using, after they stole her sales, the Gila sales. They have been awarded, and I think maybe some of the reason why I'm not so anxious to show it, because Ben Crump is the one that's presenting. And I appreciate what Ben Crump is doing. I also feel like some of his behavior, now this is just me, I feel like some of Ben Crump's behavior to me feels self-serving. So when he made this announcement, I was so glad for the family of Henrietta Lacks. I'm so happy for him, My Lock Journey. They did, as a family, win an undisclosed amount of money. And I still feel like whatever they gave them was not enough. Whatever the family got, I still feel like it wasn't enough. But they did win a settlement, and they were awarded whatever amount of money that it was. Come on, Miss Yams, come on in here. It's all about them yams. Come through. Miss Yams is a streamer, you all. If you're not following Miss Yams, quit your wiggle ways, honey, because she will bless your whole life. Come on in here, sis, and it's good to see you. It's definitely not enough, My Lock Journey. Definitely not enough money. Ben Crump is very self-serving, and that's, I think, honestly, Disco, while I was glad for the press conference, I was excited to hear that they were awarded something. I still know it wasn't enough. I just don't want to, I'm not trying to promote this man, because even the way he presented the announcement just didn't sit right with me. Very opportunistic, KK, Michelle, very opportunistic. And, you know, in my opinion, but now let's be fair to him. Let's be fair. Many families need Ben Crump to show up, because one thing that his presence has done, even though he's been an ambulance chaser, in my opinion, even though he's been an ambulance chaser, one thing that I will say about him, when he comes on a case at this point, it gives the case visibility. And sometimes that's what these cases need, is nothing more than visibility, because in actuality, sometimes he can't litigate these cases anyway, because he just cannot. Someone asked, I think Fairly All Day, several months ago, when we were in the thick of the different things that were going on in the Black community. And the question was asked, how many cases has he actually litigated and won? Well, understand, a lot of times when he's on these cases, they actually have to get an attorney from that area that's barred and that can handle that particular case and licensed. So at the end of the day, his physical presence brings something. He ain't, My Lock Journey haven't won nan case, not near one. But at the end of the day, I do want to say that he does shed light on the case by his presence and being there. So we got to give him some. Let me be fair to Ben. Let me give him, just for showing up. That's for Ben, just for showing up. But very, very opportunistic, in my opinion. And something about that and the way he presents that just doesn't set right with me. He is a Jesse Jackson and an Al Sharpton 2.0, and they leech onto the families. And we've seen this down through the years. And you bring up a very good point, because really Jesse Jackson did the same thing. Al Sharpton did and does the same thing. And we still see at all of these high profile cases, Jesse is too incapacitated to get there. I saw the last one that he went to, and they were almost propping him up. Honey, they used to saying in the church back in the old days, honey, he'll prop you up on every leaning side. Well, Jesse is leaning on every side. So they just have to prop Jesse up on every leaning side, because all of him is leaning. And Al, you know, he's still out there and he's still in the trenches, but he still shows up at all of these key places and key situations. And I want to believe at the end of the day, there's something in them that really wants to make a difference. But again, a lot of it brings notoriety to them. But when you actually get back and say, but what are you actually doing? What is the work that you're actually accomplishing? I think sometimes you're going to get crickets. You know, if you really, really press for what are you... But their faces are out there. Their faces were, yes, propped up. My Lock Journey, propped up on every leaning side. And every side is leaning. But at the end of the day, he did his good work, and he's been out there. And he's been very visible and very present. And sometimes, again, even if it's just a matter of having that same appreciation for Ben Crump and what he's doing when they show up. Kitty, okay. Woo! They used the kickstand for Jesse Disco. I'm gonna go right past that, Kitty. They used the kickstand for Jesse. Come on here, flirt. It's good to see you. Mad love to you. I appreciate you being in the room so much. Mad love. Come through. Now, I want to show this. I want to share this. And here we go. Let's look at this quick, fast, and in a hurry.
You posted a photo on social media of yourself posing with your fist in the air in front of your Rosewood neighbor's Confederate flag. You wrote, quote, "In Rosewood today, in front of my neighbor's property, he just got convicted of 6 counts of hate crimes from when he tried to kill me and a group that was visiting my property. He was mad because we parked on his side of the road. I was standing on his side of the road today," you wrote. Can you describe this attack? What happened to you, your son, and others?
I'm the only person, a black person, who owns land in Rosewood today. All of the black people left. Rosewood is now a bedroom community, very wealthy people, 5-acre estates out there. And I purchased 5 acres of land, pristine land, not touched since the 1923 event. And with the arrival of the 100th recognition of the event, I went to my property to meet with some white people, some contractors, to talk about clearing the property so that we could have an event on the site. This was in September. As we were leaving, and I had 2 white gentlemen that we met with up there to talk about what they would do to help us with this. And as we were leaving, my neighbor across the street, I've owned this property since 2008, never spoke to him nor him to me. So he rolls up to me in his truck, big white truck with big wheels and what have you, lets the window down and asked me, "What's going on out here?" So I said, "Well, sir, this is our property, and that's as far as I got." He said, "Well, if that's your property, why don't you park on your side of the road?" I said, "Well, this is a county road. We'll park wherever we wish." Threw him into a rage. He guns his vehicle, spins around, almost hits people, and starts yelling racial epithets. I won't repeat what he said, but the N-word was used again and again. He says to one of the white men who was with us, "You're just as bad as the N-word plural," and sped off onto his property. And a few minutes later, he comes out at full speed and almost kills us as we were trying to get out of his way. So they called the police. Levy County Police came out and they arrested him a few days later and charged him with using his truck as a weapon. When I got back to Miami, back home, I don't live up there, I live in Miami, I called the FBI and reported this as a hate crime. And I must say, even though you hear a lot of attacks on the Department of Justice and what have you, they were on the job. The FBI investigated this case. This man was tried a week or so ago in Gainesville, Florida, by a jury of 11 people, no blacks, and he was found guilty of 6 counts of hate crime, and he's facing 10 years on each count. And then yesterday, he was tried in Levy County on the state charge. I'm not sure what the result of that was. So this gentleman is facing a lot of time in prison for what happened that day.
And that right there, beloved, I want y'all to know we're making progress. Uh-oh, wait a minute, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. Let me go another. Here we go. This is where I want to be. There you have it, Bronx Harlem girl. Just go straight to the FBI. Just go straight to the FBI. Because I'm so sure that had he just allowed the legal system there locally to continue the investigation, this never would have gotten to the level of the FBI investigation for a hate crime. So kudos to him for that. And I find it interesting that at the end of the day, he actually purchased that land in Rosewood, what originally was an all-black town, and all of those black people left. Now, I understand from the standpoint of when your life is in danger and they're killing folks left and right, whole entire towns being destroyed and everybody in the town being killed. I understand why you would get up out of there. Did you all note that he said he bought that land pristine and untouched since the 1923 event? He bought that land. But at the end of the day, I appreciate the idea that he went back and bought the land. But note, he said, everything there is wealthy white people that has come in, swooped down, bought all that land and made it into their own little whatever. This is what has happened to us over and over again. as black people and people of color. So at the end of the day, I just don't know how and when, but one case at a time. I do know. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. I wanted to expose you all to that if you had not seen that. That is a recent occurrence of him actually winning his case. And you note that he said it was tried in Florida with 11 jurists. And at the end of the day, yes, they did have a movie on Rosewood. They did have a movie about Rosewood and how they killed all those black people, burned up everything. And, you know, it's just horrible. So at the end of the day, we've seen this terrorism, this homegrown terrorism by the KKK and other racist white folk time and time repeatedly again. I'm interested to know how the white individuals that bought up all that land, how did the deed work? How did they do that? You know, because I just feel like they could not have had clear deeds. They could not have, because these are black folks that own their properties, black folks that were doing well, which is what made the folks angry and burn the place down and kill all the people there. Anytime it looked like black folks were getting, as they would call, uppity and smelling themselves and thinking more of themselves than they felt like they should have and doing well, that's usually what drove that insanity just right over the cliff. So, you know, again, how did they acquire this property? What did they do in the way of going back and tracking the deed work to be able to sell all this land to all these white people? Because as he said, he is the only black owner in Rosewood, period. Everybody else is white. Everybody else is white. Where they do that at and how they do that. That's what I'd like to know. The same way that the inner city and they go to the suburbs, then they leave the suburbs and go back to the city. They clearly can up and move anywhere. Let's go to Mars. Well, you see your boy flying out in outer space whenever he gets ready. Whenever he gets a hankering, he just gets in a ship and goes and takes whoever he wants to take with him into space and comes back for a joyride. How about that? So they can go anywhere they want to. And this has been a problem that people of color have had. And even going back to the point of issue, even you talk about Abraham Lincoln emancipated the slaves, and some of y'all need to go back and do your history on Abraham Lincoln, because there was a lot of massage and a lot of talking and a lot of other things that were going on to get him to get that Emancipation Proclamation, where y'all get real excited about him as a liberator. That brother wasn't trying to free the slaves initially, for sure. So at the end of the day, the issue that came up, let me get back to my point, is still one of when you release all of these millions of people into the land, where are they going to go? Because they don't have any place to go. They don't have any property. They don't, so what are we doing here? You're releasing them out into nothingness, and they have no land, not because they haven't worked this land, not because they have not grown the crops, not because they have not made this land make money for you, but now they are completely shut out. And that was the idea behind 40 Acres and a Mule, which I believe was Field Order 15, which that they didn't make good on that either. So at the end of the day, and if you remember, that was a black preacher that went in and met with the general of the army, and basically he was like, how can we make this right? And the preacher came in and they met. I think I showed that last week or the week before. They met in a little church house, and that's where they came up with Field Order 15, give these people 40 acres and a mule so that they can get out and do and make their own living. And even that didn't happen. So it is what it is. Now, the shift is happening. Please believe that. The shift is happening. And I'm going to show this little clip right here. Because at the end of the day, it is what it is. It's shifting, y'all. It's shifting. Here we go. And let's see what's going down here.
And now they finding out. Watch this video and I'll be right back.
Farmers all over South Florida are reaching a breaking point. This 3-generation farm with fields of sweet corn and green beans stretches for miles, supplying the entire East Coast with its crops. But days like these may be short-lived.
We're at a crossroads right now. We don't know whether we should continue to even go this next winter. Homestead to Belglade, we're all being crushed. There used to be over 100 farmers down here. We're down to less than 9.
1 month now, all of this is like this. 1 month. How many body work here today? Nobody works here today, again.
The thing is, there's nobody here. These places are ready for drywall. They're ready for roofs. All the drywall's just sitting. The buildings are getting all wet inside. Floors are swelling up. That one's ready for a roof. The Hispanic workforce is pretty much gone out here.
This is not good. This is not good. I'm not seeing a lot of workers here. I'm not seeing a lot of movement going on here. This is not good. From a real estate standpoint, if you're already under contract for a property that's under construction, expect a lot of delays. And if you're looking for a new built property, expect prices to go up because there is a ridiculous shift taking place right now in the workforce.
Our workers, the Hispanics, they will be up there. They don't want this to get wet. Wood is getting wet everywhere. Materials are getting wet. All those houses are sold, getting wet more than they have to and getting destroyed by the humidity.
Alright, so I see this in the basement, which is clearly a bad sign, so let's go investigate. This is upstairs, and it is not looking good. This is new construction, by the way. Look at all that water. Look at all the staining, and you can tell this is still fresh. Already have color change and rot. When it comes to wood and framing, water is not our friend.
You see that shit? The Republicans in Florida are delusional. What they thought is that they can create this law, and people were going to still stay and risk jail to work for pennies. And then now they're realizing people ain't gotta fucking stay. They can leave. They can go to other states and get work there. So they left. Instead of coming out and saying, okay, we made a huge mistake. We didn't realize how much the economy was going to get impacted by the immigrants, the immigration law. Let's go ahead and change the shit. Let's fix it. Let's give them a path to citizenship. No, they want to have these town meetings telling the migrant workers that are here, oh, go tell your people not to leave. This bill has no teeth. That's what State Representative Alina Garcia said. And she herself is a Cuban immigrant, telling these immigrants that this bill has no teeth. Do the police know that? Do the police know this law has no teeth? Do Border Control know that? Why are you telling these people this lie? When a politician cannot say, oops, I made a mistake, let me try to fix it, they don't need to be a politician anymore. She needs to get the fuck out. She voted for that law. And now her people, my people, our people down here in Florida are getting affected because their hate surpassed their greed this time. And that's saying something in a capitalistic fucking country where your hate surpassed your greed. Your bigotry surpassed your greed. Your racism surpassed your greed. They fucked around and now they're finding out. Yeah, it sucks down here. It's not gonna be great. But like I say, I will suffer for the greater good. I stand with the migrant workers. They deserve better than that shit. And these politicians need to get the hell out of office because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. DeSantis is ruining the state of Florida. I shouldn't have yelled.
Listen, sister is talking her good talk. Y'all better recognize. For love of the game, thank you so much for following. Welcome to the Lion's Den, and we are so glad to have you here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And then I saw my dear friend, Barbara Hardy, my These Are They friend. Come on in here. So much mad love to you. Big Daddy Woo Woo is in the house, and I saw you. Thank you for coming in. I was not here yesterday. My moderators held the chat down for me on yesterday. I had to attend to something, but I appreciate you yesterday and back today. So good to have you, Big Daddy Woo Woo. Welcome to the Lion's Den, because we're building something. So much mad love to you. Now, this is the thing I want us to understand. To my black community, and this right here is a prime example of what I've been trying to say. Y'all want to get out here and get guns and carrying on. And I'm telling you, firepower is not the way, because we will be outgunned. Please believe it. Do y'all see how the Hispanic and migrant community said, listen, y'all gonna treat us like dirt? Y'all gonna treat us, listen, we gonna take our bags, take our ball, and go somewhere else. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? They took their ball and went home. And at the end of the day, they have shut that state down. Do you hear me? Ronnie Boy is in trouble. Do you understand? Ronnie Boy is in trouble. Please understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. And, and I love it. Now listen. Kitty Bradshaw, I love you. Kitty said, I'm laughing in Ancestor. Ooh, sister said, I'm laughing in Ancestor. Listen, I love it, I love it, I love it. Listen, I'm with you, girl. I'm laughing in Ancestor. You got me with that one. You got me with that. One more time for the Ancestors. That was great, Kitty. That was great. Now, this is what I'm trying to say to the black community. Y'all out here missing the point. You got to get them with the dollars. You got to get them with the money. That money. Listen, when all of those, now check this out. And I think Disco Darren said this. You got all of these white people that live in Florida. How come white folks ain't running out there to take them jobs? I'll wait. How come all of these wealthy white folks are not running out here to build these buildings? Because they feel that's beneath them, and most of them are there and they're wealthy and rich. They ain't trying to build no houses. They've been waiting and utilizing this migrant labor that I'm sure is getting paid next to nothing, pennies on the dollars. And now that DeSantis want to claim we gonna have a crackdown because we don't want y'all over our borders. We don't want y'all over here with us. We don't want y'all. We don't want y'all. And at the end of the day, all of this is about money, Z-Ladies, see, money. When they realize that, now this is what I want to ask. Those houses are molding. Y'all saw it. Those houses are molding. They said the concrete is swelling. Are they going to tear that stuff down and rebuild it? No, listen, I can give you the answer to that. Are they going to tear that raggedy toe up stuff down? No. to sell that property. Well, actually, they said that the property's already sold. All of those lots are already paid for. Now, do you think they're going to give those people the opportunity to have a rebuilt house, tear that stuff down, pull up that concrete and destroy it, pour fresh concrete, rebuild that? Baby, no ma'am, no sir. Now you got whoever bought that house and bought that land, they're getting ready to get into some stuff that's jacked up. And I want you to know this, black mold will kill your tail. I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. Black mold will kill your tail. And you gonna let these people move into this property that you know has been devastated and destroyed because you ain't got no workers to finish the job. And as she said, this is where your racist behavior and your white supremacy has outran your greed. At the end of the day, it's no better form. And BTT Mom, I'm sure you're not far from the truth. They gonna sell that subpar, toe up, nasty, molded up property to some black folks. So y'all pay attention. Please pay attention. Y'all buying property in Florida, y'all better get the deets. Y'all better get all the deets before you buy that property, because more than likely, you about to end up in a house where the house is going to kill your tail with that black mold. I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. But that sister did her good talking. And as she said, honey, folks are at the point now, they sick of this. They sick of that church. They are sick of that church. And this brother has gone out here and set this stuff in motion. And at the end of the day, baby, you talk about karma, because, baby, that came back to bite them right in the tail, and I love it. Now, I'm going to do this one just for good measure and good pleasure, because I want y'all to see how crazy these folk are. And again, I'm not trying to be partisan. I'm not about the politics. I want y'all to see how crazy these folk are. And when I say crazy, I mean crazy. Look at this woman right here.
Shut up! I will not sit up! I will not! I refuse to learn an infidel! I am a 3%er!
I'm an infidel.
That equals 4%! And I don't like the state of America right now! No! This is my America and I'm taking it back! We're gonna have Trump in office! Trump's coming back! Don't touch me, you're kissing me now. If you want to be by myself. I'm not letting you by yourself. What kind of America is this? Yes, what about racists that are arresting me from churches?
She said, what kind of a... in handcuffs. And she rolled out. Oh, Jesus. What kind of America is Oh, Lord help me. I can't breathe. What kind of America? Listen, that was just for good pleasure, y'all. I couldn't help it. I couldn't help. I'm not trying to be political or nothing, but honey, that insane, crazy woman, those are the folks that are voting for Trump. Leaning over, what kind of America is this? Woo! Y'all, okay, I just had to put that in. Oh, Jesus. That was my horns coming out, y'all. That's my horns coming out. But that woman leaned over talking about what kind of America is it. That woman is insane, Bronx Harlem girl. That show it again. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Y'all, I'm telling you, this woman is crazy. This woman is crazy, but honey, what kind of America is this? Y'all get that last scene. Just, you got to get that last visual of her leaning over asking what kind of America is this. Here we go. This is for you, Disco Darren. This is for you.
3% are number 1%. That equals 4%. And I don't like the state of America right now. No, this is my America and I'm taking it back. We're going to have Trump in office. Trump's coming back. Don't touch me, you're pissing me off. You won't let me by myself. You're right, I won't let you by yourself. What kind of America is this? Yes, put it on Facebook. They're arresting me for trying to take power. Yeah, I didn't go on Facebook. If I put it there, I need my head on
What kind of America is this? Oh my and God. I'm done. I'm just done. And that was my comedy for today, Sharon. That was my comedy for today. I'm telling you that. Okay, we gonna come here because I got Disco Darren. Every time I look at that, I get tickled. And honey, her in handcuffs on that basket talking about what kind of America is this anyway? That just takes me out. Now listen, you know, I gotta have some education in here before we get up out of here. Oh Lord, today, please help me, Lord God, right now, because I'm tickled. This right here, we're going to show the next clip of Dr. DeGruy. And we're dealing with post-traumatic slavery disorder. It was hilarious. Absolutely hilarious, y'all. Listen, I got tears running down my face, too, my life journey, because, listen, that took me out. But her leaning over at the end talking about what kind of America is this had me just tickled. And she's going to talk about I'm an infidel. Anyway, let's get Dr. DeGruy. Let's get some truth and some knowledge and some wisdom up in the house after all of that foolishness by that Trump supporter. And here we go, y'all. Here we go.
That hand in hand with the behavior was a mindset that is so damaging. You see, I call it the secret. Not the secret that everybody's been talking about, that secret. This secret is the kind that makes you sick. How many people here are in mental health, have done direct mental health treatment with folks? If you're not you know that the secrets make us sick, yes? Isn't it the secrets that cause people the pathology?
Secrets make us sick. Somebody needs to hear that. Secrets make us sick.
How long and how many generations had to stop and pretend Grandpa didn't do what he did? That the wealth we enjoy was not on the backs of some of these little girls. Think about how long one had to keep that secret. And the only thing you can do is either pathologize the other. It's all their fault, because it certainly wasn't great-granddad. Look how well he dresses. You understand what I'm saying? So when I say that this pathology goes hand in hand, I kid you not. Then you have science. And whenever we are in a process of trying to legitimize things, it's so amazing. You know, people always say this to me, even black people, when they hear about post-traumatic. Because, you know, it's not correct unless you can count it and measure it, right? Science is the final. It is the number one. If you can say it's scientific, then you basically trump everything else, right? Science determines reality. So if we can scientifically assert a thing to be true, then in fact it is true, because it's scientifically proven. It's a scientific fact. Matter of fact, that's what people will tell you when you try to say to them, I don't know if I agree with you. You know, it's scientific. It's a scientific fact, what I'm saying here, right? Which somehow makes it what? True. And it's also in a book. Now let's do the math. It's in a book, and it's scientifically proven. Did anybody here realize that recently we lost a planet? Anybody know what planet we lost? How you lose a planet? You know, I became fond of the little picture with we lost a planet. We didn't lose a planet. You know what it means? Science was wrong. Now, have they ever said, you know, we were wrong about that planet thing? No. It's called a paradigm shift. So let's go to science. And I think it's important that we do. So we go to someone named Carl von Linnaeus. Now, Carl von Linnaeus becomes an important character in this whole conspiracy of silence and legitimacy and removing the dissonance. Carl von Linnaeus developed a system based on a criterion of skin color and laid the basis for 19th century racial classification. Linnaeus properly began the science of anthropology. So here we have the father of anthropology. Although color classification of races dated back to the ancient Egyptians, anthropologists refer to Linnaeus' Systema Naturae of 1735 as the first modern study of man. While Linnaeus advanced classification with his use of a color criterion, he also fixed on his 4 families of man certain moral and intellectual peculiarities that continued into the 19th century anthropological vocabulary. He described Homo Americanus. Who might that be? That would be Native Americans, American Indians. Homo Americanus. And what did he say about them? He said they were reddish, choleric, obstinate, contented, and regulated by custom. Homo Europaeus, as white, fickle, sanguine, blue-eyed, gentle, and governed by laws. Homo Asiaticus, that would be Asians, as sallow, grave, dignified, avaricious, and ruled by opinions. And Homo Afer, as black, phlegmatic, cunning, lazy, lustful, careless, and governed by caprice. These insights into what Linnaeus defined as racial character, personality traits, behavior, intelligence, language, and a host of other related categories were transmitted into subsequent attempts at a science of classification and became more fixed than the races themselves. Not a shred of science here. But it is in a book. And it's touted as science. And what's more important, you know, my students, I teach graduate students in social work. And they'll say, but Dr. Leary, my God, we're looking at 1707 to 1778. We are, right? After all. But do you not hear these same attributions today? You know, those blacks, they're lazy, you know, all of the exact same, am I telling the truth? In your newspapers, in your accounts of them, do you not hear these very same things? So does it matter that it started in 1707 and 1778 and has no scientific merit? That's multi-generational, is it not? It's being passed along. Part of the swallowing into the social gullet. Those are the beliefs, you see. So it doesn't matter whether it's true or not. And thank you, Carl von Linnaeus. Again, he's removing the cognitive what? Don't they deserve to be treated the way we treat them? Have we not just justified what we've done? After all, I just told you this is who they are. We're not wrong. We're just trying to keep the domestic tranquility. Makes sense.
And there you have. Now, remember, you're talking about in the 1700s to 70 whatever it was to 1778 is when he lived. So at the end of the day, this is what I want us to understand. This has been the means by which, and as she said, the way to resolve the dissonance, the way to justify why we treat black people the way we do, why and what we think about black people. And as she said, you're talking about 1700. Now, remember, you're talking 1619. You're talking about even 100 years prior to that, that black Africans were being brought to this country for slaves. So don't get it twisted. This brother comes out after 100 years later. So I'm going to purport, in my way of looking at it, they needed some scientific something in the book. As she said, if it's science, if you say, honey, it's scientifically proven, if you put it in a book, then yes, it automatically has to be true. It automatically has to be fact. Like she said, we lost a whole dadgum planet. But it was because science progressed to a point where it said in their categorization of what is a planet and what is not a planet, they no longer looked at what they once called a planet anymore. So science is constantly evolving, and technological changes are constantly allowing us to have a better understanding of a thing. But when it comes to black people, hear me when I say this. When it comes to black people, and I would largely purport and suggest the reason why in 1700 and something, again, where did we start shipping people in? 1619. So 100 years later, we need a so-called scientist to justify the way we have mistreated, abused, and used these black folks. And just how subjective can you be? They're lazy. They're this. Everything that this man put in that scientific, so-called scientific study had all of the negative and derogatory attributes and concepts that white folks had anyway. Y'all ain't buying what I'm selling. All he did was basically come behind, give it some kind of scientific sounding name, Homo africus, whatever. And at the end of the day, all he did was put in his subjective racist idea, using these big names, put it in a book, and now it's scientifically proven this is what and how black people are. And we're still laboring against those labels and those categories and those ideas today. We're still in that struggle. So as we look at how we come to a place of having to still and yet struggle in our own post-traumatic slavery disorder, and this is where she starts. And again, Team No Pants put the complete video out there. If anybody wants to go and see it, look under videos in my Discord and you can watch it in its entirety. I've chopped it up here for our purposes of being able to show it in small segments. But this is what I want you to see. I didn't chop it up. Someone else did. I pulled it in that way. But nonetheless, this is where we see, why did she start her study? Why did she choose this as her point to do her doctoral thesis? Because she wanted to understand the self-hatred of black people. She wanted to understand the shoot ourselves in our own foot type thinking and energy that was prevalent in many of. What was it that when we looked in the mirror, we didn't like what we saw? Where did that come from? How did that develop in our culture? Where did we become self-destructive and self-loathing and self-hating? Because at the end of the day, now come on, y'all, don't play with me. At the end of the day, even when they did the study with black children, picking out dolls, and they gave them a black doll and a white doll, they would be abusive and throw away the black doll. I don't want that doll. That doll is ugly. Show me the pretty doll. They'd pick up the white doll. This is from black Children, come on, Yurdy, come on in here. Good to see you this morning. Thank you for lurking and listening. It's good to have you here. Blessings upon blessings. Where and why and how did that develop? If you're the one that's always being abused, if you're the one that's always being negatively impacted, if you, it's a raid from DJ Miss Classy. Come on. I see you, Miss Fee. I see you. One reason, DJ Miss Classy. She is a streamer, and if you're not following her, quit your wicked ways. There's so much love coming to you, sis. I appreciate you. And to everybody that's riding that Thankful Thursday raid train over from Miss Classy, Cabby for JC, 987 Quartz. Come on in here. So much mad love to you. Come on, come on, come on. It's good to have you in the room. Come on, come on. It's glad to have you in the Lion's Den where we're building something. Yurdy, you said, thank you, DJ Miss Classy. I appreciate you. You wrote a few papers and did some presentations on Joy DeGraw for your masters. Come through. Listen, she's awesome. Absolutely awesome. And so at the end of the day, this essence of hatred that has come to us from post-traumatic slavery disorder. Do y'all understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Thank you for that, DJ Miss Classy. Thank you for that shout out for my mods. I appreciate you. Now, this is where we look and we say, where does this come from and how did we get here? Even when we look at our own community, black to black, and look at our own community, and we begin to ask and we begin to question the behaviors and the things that we're doing and the things that we begin to take on, many of the things are not, that's not our tradition. That's not our culture. A lot of it is post-traumatic slavery disorder. I'm going to say it once more and again before I get up out of here, because I'm telling you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Some of the negatives that we have embraced and said this is just our black culture, it really is not. It is post-traumatic slavery disorder that's been passed down from generation to generation to generation, and it needs to stop. It needs to stop. It needs to stop. Do y'all understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? It needs to stop. Dr. Fanny Brewster is also to go. Listen, these are the places I'm saying, let's get educated. Let's get understanding. Let's get clarity. This is why I brought her to the stream to show what she did in her study, because we have got to understand. We got to understand. We got to understand the dynamics involved. And God forbid that we throw any of us away. We cannot throw any of us away. So much of what people are going through, and I don't care the socioeconomic level. At this point, it doesn't matter your class. It doesn't matter your economic status. Black folks, we have to understand when, where, why, and how we're witnessing post-traumatic slavery disorder and understand it for what it is so we can stop. So we can change, so we can do better. There's no question about our ingenuity. There's no question about our creativity. There's no question about our resilience. There's no question about our bounce back. But we got to be healthy in our community. And the one thing I want to see more than anything else is black pride. I have a pride in who I am. I have a pride in where I've come from. I have a pride. And listen, you know what's my girl? I can see her in my mind. How to Get Away with Murder. What's her name, y'all? It's escaping me. How to Get Away with. I love me some her. I love me some her. Somebody put her name in the chat because it's failing me right now. But listen, at the end of the day, Viola Davis. Viola Davis, that's my girl. Viola Davis, and I've been saying this to myself, and I've been saying this to people. I've been saying this. I came out the womb worthy. And I want every black king and queen, everybody, but I really want every black king and queen to come in here and understand I came out the womb worthy. I'm going to say it once more and again. This is how I want you to feel, and this is how I want to see us overcome this post-traumatic slavery disorder that is so ingrained and so entrenched in us, because this is what this country has done to us as black people. But I want you to understand, even if they say you're not worthy, even if they say you're lazy, even if they say you're ugly, you're going to talk about my lips too big, but I see you pumping your lips up. You're talking about my nose is spread, but I see you going and getting a new nose. You're saying that my butt's too big, but I see you going and buying a butt. You say that our breasts are large, but I see you going and trying to get you some twin banks. You say all of these negative things about us, but you're constantly trying to get what I got, and yet want to make me feel like I'm not okay. But I came out the womb worthy. I said what I said, and I'll add to it for it. I came out the womb worthy. You better ask somebody. The twin banks, they want them, baby. They want them. They want our twin banks. Y'all try to get breast reductions and they trying to pump theirs up. Woo! I said what I said. And where we have this, as I said, nothing, every time I look at that video, I can visualize it right now. Those little girls throwing those black dolls away. Which doll is pretty, and picking up the white doll. Oh my God, that hurts me to my heart. That hurts me to my heart. It just tears me up, because we've created this image. We've created, that goes back to the story we told earlier this week about the children that were pulled out of class in Florida and had a black only assembly, and then start talking about the problem that exists with your low test scores, and you're pulling the school down, and you had the kids feeling bad about themselves. Y'all understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. We've got to stop it. Dr. Dady Priest is in the room. Come on in here, High Priestess. Nothing but mad love to you. She is a streamer, and if you're not following Dr. Dady Priest, quit Chihuahuas. Just quit them, because I promise you, she's going to bless your whole life. And you all remember yesterday, or the day before yesterday, it was yesterday, in the video that drove y'all over the edge. I hear that video drove y'all plumb over the edge. But one of the first things they said, honey, because these black men are so big and burly, they didn't want the white women running after the black men. Child, miss me with that. Miss me with that, because they still wanted Mandanko. Miss me with that, because they still... You done did all of this to try to keep white women from chasing after black men. And at the end of the day, how'd that work for you? They're so burly and they're so big. They didn't want white women. And the man said it. The man just straight out said he was the head of the KKK. You can go back and look at that if some of y'all want to, if you missed it. But honey, and then let me say this too, because the poor white folks that don't understand this, he also said he didn't have nothing to do with ends, and he was using the full word. He wasn't no abbreviating or nothing. We don't affiliate with them. We ain't got nothing to do with it. All of that he vomited out. And then he said, and that sorry white trash. We don't mess with them either. That's what he said. I'm quoting, sorry white trash. And that's why I'm amazed that poor white folk don't understand. They don't care about you neither. You out here acting racist, but they don't care about you either. And as Michelle Brownell said in the stream, but they use the sorry poor white trash to do their dirty work. They're using you for pawns. They're using you and don't care nothing about you. That man opened his mouth and said, we don't have nothing to do with sorry white trash. That's what the man said. Poor little Tink Tink. That's what the man said. And y'all out here supporting and giving them all of your energy and all of your everything else to advocate and tear down black folks. But when they get the chance, they gonna tear you down too. Please believe that. Please believe it. They don't care nothing about you. But this man said everything from the heart that he wanted to say. And at the end of the day, I said, and he right there summed up the racist white heart. Please believe that. White folks treat poor white folks horribly. You saw it at your last assignment. And Dr. Dady, it's nothing new. It's nothing new. The only time they embrace them is when they need them for some purpose. There's an agenda and there's a reason. But honey, these racist white folk, for real, they don't care nothing about these poor white people. And when he said, sorry, white trash, I said, well, sir, he didn't stutter. He didn't bite his tongue. He said, we ain't got nothing to do with this sorry white trash. Ooh, I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. But this is where I want us, because I don't care about, I do care, but listen, it's the black community house that's on fire right now. That's the fire I'm putting out. Everybody else put your own fire out. I want the black community, and hear me when I say this, and I'm getting ready to get out of here because we got to get over the rebels. I want the black community to understand the power of what the immigrants and the Hispanic community did in Florida. Pack our stuff up, band together, and leave these folk looking stupid. And they have shut them folks down. Hear me. I need us to get our stuff, bind together in unity, and we need to shut this stuff down, because I'm telling you, I keep telling you and you don't want to hear me. But at the end of the day, the only thing that they really care about is money. That's the only thing that speaks to them is money. And the migrant and Hispanic community has put them in a vice grip. They got them, y'all. They got them. And those people are suffering. Do you hear me? This is one time where their racism has put a vice grip on their own genitalia. It has put a vice grip on their own genitalia. Misty Blue, come on in the room. So much mad love to you. It's good to see you in the house. Now, listen, speaking of, we got to get over the rebels because I can keep going, but we're going to come back tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad channel, and we're going to keep on talking. We're going to keep on fighting the good fight of faith, and we're going to use everything in our arsenal to come against that lying video that we saw earlier that they're putting out there in the Florida public schools. Y'all know that was a lie straight from the pit of hell. And that's why we ain't going nowhere on this channel. We gonna keep putting the truth out there, and we gonna tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help us God. We gonna put it out there live and in living color where you can see it. Because at the end of the day, won't be this way always. This has been another edition. This has been another edition of Yes You O-Cube. What does O-Cube stand for? One-on-one. It's just me and you. I'm your spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman. Listen, it won't be this way always. Please believe it, because we're banding together and we're going to have the same impact that those immigrants have had on Florida. Get ourselves together. We're going to bind together and we're going to be the change that we want to see. This pride, this PRIDE, this Pride Alliance is relentless. You're going to hear us roar. Us, you, me, we all, because we in this together. I want to appreciate that raid that came from DJ Miss Classy. Thank you so much for that raid. To all the followers, to my moderators, the Rebel Ink, Shelly Thunder, Michelle Browno. I love me some y'all. To everybody that came up in here, to our new viewers, I appreciate you for coming through. This song is brought to us by none other than my sis, Regina Sims. It won't be this way always. You can get it on iTunes. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it on Google Play, Spotify, or you can go on out there to prmusicgroup.com and hook it up. Come through, Regina Sims. Now, I want to say thank you to my corporate sponsor, the David Ryan Charity, where their motto is love on purpose. Now, listen, we going somewhere. We're going to ride this raid train. Please come on and ride it with us. Please come on and ride with us, because we headed over to Rebel's house. There's something special that's up the road. Now, listen here. I want you to understand, like my moderators say, I want you to have an amazing day on purpose. Do what you love what you do, and peace for your journey.